the honored visitor, aka Salem. Asylum? He's like, I am the honored visitor.
It really goes with your
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Halloween.
yeah, yeah. With all the decor. He's like, what am I doing here? But just so our listeners and our viewers can have some cat content.
Yeah.
Salam, everyone. Hello, everyone. We are the Wired Sisters because we're on the wire and we're always wired. It is still a pun on the Weird Sisters. We are your happy go lucky Harry Potter Wizarding Worlds podcast. Although today we bring you a serious subject. I am Hilde from Belgium. This is my friend and
I'm
co host.
Jennifer from Sweden.
There we go. And today we want to talk about internet safety. And it's been an issue in a lot of communities. And the Pottergram, as the Instagram Harry Potter community is called, has not been spared. So we feel it is time to set our usual shenanigans aside and actually try to give you about 10 handy tips on how you can be safer online and how to avoid actual issues. So yeah, we have a list. For once I have the list. We're going
Yeah.
to go down point by point and just discuss it. If you have things to add, feel free to leave a comment to this video or talk to us in DM on Instagram. We are available. And our Instagrams will be up on the screen for the YouTube watcher. For those who aren't watching, mine is Steam and Kittens.
And mine is Adventures of Wonder.
See, there you go. So yeah, point one, talk to your friends if something is bothering you, if something feels off. Definitely talk to mutual friends if there's like a person giving you bad vibes. Just discuss matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to give an example, so we recently had this event happening in the Pottergram community. And as it unraveled, it was quite clear because I talked to a lot of people who had like similar experiences with this person where he had made them uncomfortable or they had noticed some red flags. Unfortunately, we didn't talk to each other. So no one really connected the dots. But had we done that, we could have avoided this situation a lot sooner before things got really, really crap.
Yeah, so for sure, talk to each other. And that brings us to the next point. Do not be afraid to speak up.
Yeah, because I think sometimes we are worried about what other people will think of us or who to trust. And rightfully so, because we don't really know who anyone is online, right? But if there's some person who's giving you this like gut feeling that something is not right, discuss it with someone that you trust. It doesn't matter if it's someone that person also knows, but like find someone who usually connects with that person as well and just exchange thoughts, because maybe someone has figured out something, and then with another piece of the puzzle, it's easier to see the whole picture.
Yeah, and even if you feel that you can't go to people in the same community for whatever reason, talk to people that you actually know in real life, even, or your best friend, somebody that you legit know and can trust. But address the situation. If I mean, if anything, somebody you are close with in real life or legit have been friends with online for ages, they don't have to be in the same community. They might actually be a bit further away from the situation and have a clearer sight, but speak to people. Don't bottle it up, because that's how things end up erupting like a volcano drama wise. And it's good for no one. So yeah, definitely not for the people involved. So speaking up on discussing matters can save you gods, a lot of heartache and misery. So yeah, that is kind of like what Jennifer has also addressed. Point three: trust your gut. And
Mm.
when in doubt, if you don't trust your own gut, talk to someone. Like we said before, don't be afraid to speak up. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean my gut is bad. Like I have zero radar for creeps. Literally, like I'm getting better, but I
I,
need to talk to people. I
I
need to
have
be
a
better.
really, really good creep radar, so you are
That's
always
good.
welcome to address me and to just
I know
poke
who to
me and
turn
say
to.
like, "Hey, can I throw this situation out there?" Next point: have each other's backs, because I feel like in a lot of situations, people can, and this is not necessarily from coming from a bad intent, but people can be a bit dismissive. And if somebody comes to you and they want to talk about a situation that made them feel uncomfortable online, a person that made them feel uncomfortable, don't dismiss it. Really listen to them. And if it's a person you don't actually know or know well, take it serious. If it's somebody you know, like you have talked to for a while, you may have been online friends with them for a while, and you know for a fact that this person has just had a really bad day and really, really didn't manage to communicate things properly and just came over super wrong, you will be able to at least assure your friend who came to you that it's all right. It's just a bad moment and an off day. But
Mm.
in a situation where you don't know the person they're talking about well, you can keep an eye out along with them. Maybe like friend the person, look at their account, and help them figure out whether it's actually an issue or just, everybody has bad days. I know for a fact that, I mean, I am lousy at communicating. I am Dennis Creevy levels of bad at communicating. So, but not everybody is just genuinely socially handicapped, so to speak. Some people are just, wrong.
Yeah. And also keep an eye out for like if someone says something about someone else
Yeah,
that you know that kind of gives out like a red flag. I'm not talking about like gossip, like this
yeah.
person is weird. I'm talking about something that has a genuine like evil intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe talk to your friends, because you were asking me earlier if somebody was like talking to you with actual ill intent, would you like to know? And I said, like, if they're just like bad mouthing me, like, oh, she's such a weirdo, and no, why can't she be normal, and why does she buy so much stuff or whatever? Like gossip, like you said, I couldn't care less. I legit can't care less. But if
Mm,
somebody was actually like plotting evilness, so to speak, then I would like to know. And I'm assuming the same would go for you.
absolutely. Like if you get the feeling that a person is trying to use another person for, I don't know, gaining followers or whatever the reason,
Yeah,
that is a red flag and you might want to address that.
exactly. So yeah, I know it's hard to trust people on the internet, but you don't have to like completely bare your soul. Just maybe we could all just communicate a little bit better and more openly without throwing out our full privacy online, because nobody's expecting you to do that. But it would be better if we talked more honestly and openly about issues,
Hmm.
because I feel like it could avoid a lot of misunderstandings and actual issues later on down the road.
Yeah. Communication is key.
She said it better than I did. She actually went straight to the point. So that brings us to the next point. You don't owe anybody your time. Um if you feel super uncomfortable by someone, don't be afraid to mute them or even to block them. You
Hmm.
don't have to follow back. You don't have to be nice to people. I mean, we all get them, women on the internet. We all get these creepy guys who just follow you out of the blue, or just like bombard your account with a barrage of likes and then start talking to you in an overly familiar way.
Hmm.
Um, and you're immediately going like, what? you don't owe them your time. You don't have to engage with them. It is okay to just go, no, we're not doing this, and block them straight away, right off the bat, straight out the gate. It's all right. You are
Yeah.
not somebody's armchair psychologist. You don't owe anybody your time. And you are, I mean, even if it's somebody you have been talking to for a while and they're suddenly talking to you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, you are absolutely in the right to say, I'm sorry, I feel uncomfortable with the situation and I do not want to discuss this subject any further. It's all right.
Yeah. And I think that's something that we need to, like, everyone needs to work on that. Because I've always been like too, it's hard to think that because I'm a Slytherin, but I've always been like too nice to people. Like, I've always answered every single DM. And I'm starting to get really uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
I get DMs now saying, oh, you stopped replying. Or one person that I blocked DM me from another account saying, oh, you blocked me.
Oh my
Like,
God.
yes, there's a reason, because you creeped me the fuck out and like take the hint.
Yeah. And also, like, sometimes somebody blocks you, not because I mean, you cannot get along with everybody.
Mm.
I mean, sometimes somebody just blocks you because you're really not their type of person.
Mm.
Let it go. If somebody
Yeah.
blocks you, just move on with your life. I
Yeah.
mean,
And the
there's,
problem also with like being public online is
yeah,
that people think that they know you.
yeah,
People that I've never talked to because they've been following me for a while, they think that they know me. And so they talk to me like they know me. And sometimes that is uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
usually
yeah, I
not,
can
but it
imagine.
can be. And it's really hard to find that like level and be like, okay, I am uncomfortable in the situation. I'm not going to respond to this anymore, or I'm going to block you. But
Yeah, and
you don't know anyone. You don't owe
yeah,
anyone anything. Just if it creeps you out, block them. Stop
exactly.
replying.
Because the thing is, we don't know who is on the other side of that screen. Because it could be like, for instance, if I see a story and it's like a mutual thing, I might reply and say, "Oh, I love this as well," blah blah blah. And most people will be like, "Oh, yeah, cool, somebody who likes the same things as me." But some
Mm.
people might be like, oh no, I feel uncomfortable. And that's okay. I mean, if
Yeah.
they block me because that makes them feel uncomfortable, because they feel I come on too strong, I'm just gonna leave them be. It's not gonna ruin my day because it's a person on the internet.
Mm.
But, I'm just trying to say that if you are blocked, leave that person alone. It's not on. Just leave them alone. They have their reasons. It's not about you. It's not the end of your life to get blocked
No.
by someone online. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Um, in the end, it's just the internet. You have to, how to explain this? Yes, you can make very valuable real friendships online, but aside from these valuable real friendships, it's also just the internet. And the things that aren't valuable real friendships also have no real impact on your life. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Did I manage to actually get that across in the end?
Yes.
Hooray. As you can see, I am very bad with words.
I am too. Just especially like in English, it's hard, but we try. We
We
try our best.
try. FYI, English is not our first language for either of
No.
us.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, definitely do not be afraid to block and just walk away from people, because some
Life
people
is too
are a
short.
lot, and some
Mm.
people are just unintentionally a lot, and they're legit good people. And if you know that, you can take it with a grain of salt and just scroll past it. But in cases where you don't know it, if you feel uncomfortable, don't take the risk. Just don't take the risk.
Mm.
Also, there are many people on the internet that often post in their stories of them trolling these creeps. Like, there's a girl in the Halloween community, and she responds with things like, "Hey, I would like to discuss the Salem witch trials," which is hilarious to read. But unless you're the kind of person that enjoys trolling creeps, I would just apply the block button, because I have seen way too many episodes of Criminal Minds based on real stories to be comfortable with trolling creeps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there. So yeah, our next point: set boundaries and stick to them.
Yeah. And that is hard. Like a few weeks ago, I got totally burnt out, like by the amount of messages that I received on Instagram. So I decided to take a break. I told like a few people that were messaging me a lot that, okay, I'm not going to be replying to messages because I am stressed the fuck out. And like slowly getting back to that has also slowly, well, not slow enough, increased my messages back. Like I need to keep those boundaries, and it's super hard, but it's so important for your mental health to just sometimes keep people at an arm's length.
Yeah, and if you are overwhelmed by DMs, you can legit just turn them off.
Yeah.
You can just literally I the settings, I'm pretty sure you can make it so that, well, a lot of people have that, so that nobody can respond to your stories directly. They have to DM you. And I think you can also turn off DMs from like people that don't follow you. So people will have to follow you to be able to DM you. Well, you have to follow them in for them to be able to DM you and stuff. If that is necessary for you, for your mental health, do it. And if someone gives you crap about it, block them. Like, literally,
Yeah.
block them. People do not get to tell you how you run your account. End of story.
No. What's most important is your mental health and your safety. That's it.
Exactly. If you feel it's super important to have all your DMs shut down except for a few people, you're well within your right to do that, and nobody gets to tell you that you're wrong. So yeah. Then our next ones are about actual personal safety, like your address.
It's difficult because as we're getting like friendly online, of course, we're going to want to send each other Christmas cards or gifts. So we give out our address, and we're very well, we still give it out because it's to someone that we trust. And like with this thing happening now to Pottergram, I had given out my address. So this person has my address, which of course feels really, really bad right now. But in the moment, I thought we were friends. Like, obviously, I was going to give out my address. But just you never know who that other person is online. Like, unless you've met them several times, it's really hard to know. So just think an extra time before you give out your address, and if possible, give another address, like to some pickup point or something that isn't linked to you, especially if you live alone or don't have like extra security in forms of door code or whatever.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. A lot of people say, but mention giveaways when it comes to addresses, and we've had a situation where somebody is being stalked by somebody who lives in a completely different continent, who has then traveled to the US, no less. So, some stalkers are very extreme, so don't think that it will not happen to you. It could happen to literally everyone. In Belgium, we have a thing called Mondial Relais. And basically, you can go to a Montreal Relais pickup point. It's the same like with UPS, and I think Bepos has it as well. And then basically, the address that will be on the package will be the address of a pickup point. And you don't have to use a pickup point close to your house. You could literally use one in another city as well, if that is how. I mean, you could take it as far as you want to really make sure nobody knows where you live. I figured that if Belgium has a thing like that, surely other countries do as well. So definitely look into that if you're doing a giveaway and you know that the person who will receive your package is somebody you don't know. Well, in all likeliness, you don't know, unless you're doing a giveaway amongst actual friends you trust. In that case, ignore me. But if you're doing a random giveaway, I would really, really, really advise you to do something like that. Don't have your real address on it. I most certainly would not. If possible, if you have a couple of friends in the same area, rent a PO box together to cut the cost. Because I know in Belgium they're really quite expensive. So if you insist on like doing this big thing online where you like swap Christmas cards with lots of different people, even people you don't know, make sure to have a PO box or something like that. Don't let them come to your house, and otherwise only exchange addresses with people you've been talking to for a while, people that have posted enough personal information for you to really feel comfortable to want to exchange an address with them. If you're not 100% sure, then don't do it.
Well said.
Thank you. So yeah, whilst we're talking about personal information, our next 2 points are about that as well. Do not share information of other people that is not readily available online without their consent. Like, for instance, my email address is available online. Ergo, if somebody would ask Jennifer for my email address, it would be absolutely no problem for her to give that email address because it's available online. Same with like my YouTube link, my Instagram handle, stuff like that. It's online, so it's okay to share because I've put them online. My address, however, and my phone number, I would not want her to share with other people. So, be like that. Don't give out information of which you are not 100% certain that it is online. When in doubt, ask the persons who, like, if somebody's like, oh, I would like to send X a text message about this and this and this, it's urgent. Double check with X, even if it's a mutual friend. Still double check with X whether it is really okay to pass on that phone number. You know, if somebody goes like, oh, I would like to send a surprise package to X, no, still don't give out his address, surprise up or down, even if it's a mutual. Just don't do it. Err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
I mean, the surprise is not ruined by asking somebody for their address yourself. I mean, they're still not gonna know what's in the package. And that said, customs is probably going to be a dick. So the surprise will probably be ruined by them. Just saying. You know what they're like.
I know.
So yeah. Don't share other people's information.
Exactly. And the last one is about safety when you're out and about. So if you're away and you're staying at a hotel, do not share which hotel that is until you've left. If you're out exploring in the city, do not share where you are until you've left. Like, don't post stories of that place until you are far away, because you have no idea which nutter is following you and what they are capable of doing. Yes. Don't give them the opportunity to harm you.
Also, like, especially if you have a lot of information about your house, because I mean, obviously everybody can see my studio and thus knows that there is nothing of real value in said studio. But the thing is, a lot of people have like proper home tours online of their entire house. So to then go and just be like, oh, I'm off on a holiday for 2 weeks to there. Yeah, no, just don't share that kind of information. Tell only like the people you know you can trust, because otherwise you just risk being burglared and whatnot. It's just
it's just not worth it for like a couple of posts or stories. Like, if you want to do that, okay, at least say that someone is house sitting.
Just do yourself the favor. Also, lots and lots of influencers post this information after they've been out. And their accounts are doing just fine. So that if that isn't proof that you don't have to post alive, so to speak, I don't know what is.
Mm.
I mean, obviously, if you live in a safe enough area, I mean, like, do whatever you please. We're just giving you tips, but just saying, maybe be very careful. Like Jennifer said, you don't know what nutter is following you.
Yeah.
I have stayed home from a concert in the past because somebody who made me feel very uncomfortable on LiveJournal back in the day, and they were giving me the impression that they would show up because I would be there, and I decided I was not gonna be there. End of story.
Mm.
Because I was like,
It's
I
not
love
worth
this
it.
band, but I love my safety potentially more. Also, even if this person has nothing bad planned, they still
Mm.
make me feel extremely uncomfortable. So I'm not gonna enjoy it. So I'm just gonna stay away.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't say where you're going to be, then this kind of situation will not arise.
Yeah. Safety first.
Safety first. I mean, it sounds like a mega cliche, but it is very, very true.
Okay, so that's a long list, but let's summarize it. Let's read through it and then
Yes,
we'll call it quits.
we'll summarize it. I shall read through the list. 1. Talk to your friends the second something feels off, and, so to speak, compare notes with mutuals. 2. Don't be afraid to speak up. 3. Trust your gut. In doubt, refer to point 1. 4. Have each other's backs. If a serious thing happens, or is said about someone, speak up about it. Don't stay silent. 5. Do not be afraid to mute or block. You do not own anybody your time. 6. Set boundaries and stick to them. 7. Be wary about sharing your address, and don't if you can avoid it, especially if it's in giveaways, etc. When there are people involved you do not know. 8. Do not share people's information that is not readily available online. Always ask permission to share information that is not readily available online, and when in doubt, always check with the person before sharing. And never dox someone. Don't give out an address. Just, even if the address is online somewhere via a website or whatever, do not. Just don't. Ever. 9. Do not disclose your current location when out and about. Or don't dox yourself. It's also not smart. I know a few YouTubers have done it, but just don't follow suit. They're people with a lot of guns in their house, so don't do it. And yeah, 10. Just be careful about building relationships, so to speak, and I mean friendships and every kind of human interaction on the interwebs.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. So that's all. That's our crash course in internet safety.
Yeah.
For a happier and healthier community. So there you have it. That's our guide to internet safety, as best as what we know and what we can help others with. These 10 steps.
Yeah. Speaking
quite effective.
From our many years of experience on the interwebs and social media.
Our unfortunate experience.
Yeah, and not just our experience, but also things we have seen happen that not necessarily had anything to do with us, but that we would like to see other people spared from. And we kind of feel like by putting this out there that maybe we can. And hopefully this was useful and helpful in any way. And yeah, like we said before, our DMs are available. We are quite happy to have you comment in the description box, and we are happy to talk to people. Just please bear in mind that we are also people with a life, and so might not respond to DMs in anything like a timely manner. We're not ignoring you. We haven't come around to it. If you address us in a polite and calm and courteous manner, we will get back to you. If you're being a dick, to put it very bluntly, we will block you. End of story. And if you're really going out of bounds, we will report and then block you.
I will. I love that.
I don't love that, but
I have no problems reporting and blocking. Like,
oh no,
I'm
me
so
neither.
used to
I
it
don't
now.
love doing it, but I
Yeah.
will, and I just kind of want to put it out there in case somebody feels the need to come at us.
Yeah.
That I welcome a conversation, but I'm not here to be chewed out.
Yeah. Well put. So that's it for today, the Internet Safety course. Thank you. I hope this was useful. I hope we've helped at least one person.
Yeah, if this was helpful to at least one person, this was so totally worth it.
Yeah.
If it was
So
helpful
really,
to more than one person, it was extra
even
worth
better.
it.
Yeah. We will be back soon with a little lighter episode.
Yeah, our next episode, we shall be talking about Jennifer's favorite topic, the Malfoy family.
The Malfoy.
So,
Can't wait.
if you're not here for the seriousness, we will be back to our usual shenanigans next episode. But for now, we actually had our serious hat on, so to speak, because we're not wearing a hat right now. Neither of us. This may be my first hatless episode.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, all talk about hats aside, we hope you enjoyed this episode, that you found it helpful. If you did, please leave a comment in the comment section, or just leave a comment in general. If you do leave a comment, remember, please be kind, and we will see you in the next episode of Wired Sisters. Bye-bye!
Bye.